They've done it again. They've done it again. They have done it again. My flabbergastation is flabbergasted. I have run out of flabbergasting. Oh my word. £85 million for Savinho. Nah. What's happened to the transfer market? What has happened to the transfer market? Because apparently nowadays, if you're young, Brazilian, can dribble, and have played under Pep Guardiola, congratulations. You are now worth a minimum of £80 million. And somehow, Tottenham are the ones dropping the bag. Yes, Spurs. The same Tottenham that, we used to laugh at. They've got cobwebs in their wallets and all that type of stuff. They have apparently agreed £85 million deal for Savinho. And before all my fellow Arsenal fans get excited and start calling him rubbish just because he's going to Spurs, I'm not going to do that, because Savinho can play. In all honesty, he can play. But the question is, can he play £85 million of football? Those are two different conversations. To have. But before we get into all that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Help me get this channel from 1 to at least 2. Yeah? First things first, Savinho is good. Okay, let's put the banter aside, although I'm still going to cook while I'm doing this. But let's put the banter aside for a second. Savinho is not some bum that Spurs have randomly thrown money at. The boy is talented. He's quick, direct, both-footed. He can go on his left, right, comfortable attacking on either side of the pitch. And he's very brave in 1v1. And most importantly to myself, although he's hardly played from what I've seen, he actually wants the ball. Now, there are certain wingers where defenders get close to them and they're already thinking, yep, let me recycle this, get this back to the fullback and all that type of stuff. He isn't built like that. Like, the guy wants to isolate you. He wants to shift you. He wants to run at you. Do you get it? He wants to go at you, because those are the type of wingers that I like. Do you understand what I mean? And when you're talking about a player who's only 22 years old, there's obviously plenty of room for him to develop and all that type of stuff. But purely on a profile of a player, strictly on his profile, I understand the signing. I'm not going to act like I don't get it. But we need to talk about the price. We have to talk about the price, because this is where I'm lost. £85 million sterling. £85 million. Brother, at 35 million, I'm like, clever signing. 45, fine. Premier League tax, Brazilian tax, Manchester City tax, and all that type of stuff. Whatever you want to call it. Even at 55 million, I'm like raising a highbrow, like what's going on here? But once you start getting into the £85 million realm, you're not buying potential anymore, in my opinion. You're telling me that this man is coming here to become the main character. 85 million equals a main character player, no? You're telling me that he is coming in to be the mainstay, in my opinion. Because at 85 million, brother, you're not buying potential. You're not buying potential at all. That is the problem with massive transfers. And let's just get it out the way. Savinho didn't choose his price, and that's important. But unfortunately, the price chooses the expectation. Yeah or nay? You can spend 85 million and then 6 months' time later, you're telling me, well, you look at his progressive carries per 90. No. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that, all right? Where's the goals? Where's the assist? Where is the match-winning performance? Because for 85 million, I need smoke. But when we go through his record at City, £85 million does not justify. There's no correlation, because for me, this is a gamble. This is where Spurs are taking a gamble. Right? Savinho didn't really establish himself as one of Manchester City's main indispensable attackers, which is probably why this deal was even possible. Although it took a while, and I believe they tried for him either was it in January or last summer. I digress because I don't really check for Spurs like that. But they tried, they were rebuffed, and now they've gone back again, and they've been at it since the start of summer, and finally they're getting their man. So it's like, he's got ability. Without a doubt, he's got ability. But in the same breath, Spurs are not really ripping away City's main best attacker, in my opinion. Like, but he is hugely talented. There's no getting away from that. And unfortunately, when you have so much talent, but he's unable to pin down a position at City, because they are blessed with attackers. Do you understand what I mean? So that's probably why City have gone, have him for 85 million. But I'm sorry. Yeah, City have pretty much pulled a daylight robbery there. Daylight robbery. And we need to call defense. Not because they've done anything wrong, but because these men can sell bottled water to Aquaman. They can. Because how is Savinho gone for that price? They need to be investigated. They need to. Like, 85 million. Spurs are pretty much saying, yep, you haven't completed football or exploded or anything like that at City yet, but we believe in you. We believe you can come to us and explode. Pause. All right? That's the bet that they're having. And actually, if I put my rivalry, because I'm an Arsenal fan, if I put my rivalry and bias to the side, this actually makes stuff interesting for them. Because, and I hate to say this, Spurs is going to be the better environment for him, unfortunately. And that's the part where me and us as Arsenal fans don't really want to hear it, but we have to actually just have a sit down and just look at it, because Savinho could genuinely be better at Tottenham than he was at City. At City, like I said, they're blessed with attackers. And at Spurs, if you're spending 85 million on Savinho, the man is playing. He's playing. All right? You're giving him the responsibility. You're giving him the minutes. You're giving him the opportunity to fail. And young attackers, they need the opportunity to fail. Just get them on the pitch, get them playing. It's one of those where sometimes, a player doesn't need a better club. They just need playing time. They need to come into a club where they become more important, where, they feel important and all that type of stuff. And I think Savinho could get that at Spurs. And then there's the De Zerbi effect. There's the De Zerbi effect. Because with De Zerbi, it makes sense. They're clearly, they're not trying to, as stupid as they are in the money they've been spending this transfer window, like, they're not clearly just buying random names, in my opinion. Like, they've backed their manager. They have to, because you can't do 17 twice in 2 seasons. Bring him in, he saves you, and then you're not giving the backing he requires. So, like, the heavily backing De Zerbi and it's concerning. As an Arsenal fan, it's concerning. But I'm not scared. I'm just keeping one eye on the ups. But with Savinho, I believe he fits the type of player that De Zerbi wants. For the attacking football that De Zerbi plays, he wants to receive, you want a player that receives the ball wide, attack the defenders, creates overloads, carry the ball through pressure, which he does beautifully, and can stretch the pitch. And don't forget as well, like, De Zerbi wants technically gifted players who are comfortable enough to keep possession and aggressive enough to break the structure of the opposition. And Savinho pretty much ticks a lot of those boxes. So tactically, I see the vision. But my question for Spurs is, where is the guaranteed output? Where's the guaranteed output? Because potential is lovely. Potential looks amazing in compilations. Like, potential looks great on Twitter. But once you've spent £85 million, eventually, I need numbers. You need numbers. If Savinho gives Tottenham, for example, I don't know, 15 goals and 10 assists, we don't care about the fee anymore. You're laughing and we're hating as the ups. Do you get it? But, if the man comes in and is giving you 5 goals and 6 assists every week, yeah, that's where, the cooking start. But 85 million, that's what Spurs have done to him by paying him this amount. Because if he doesn't work, he's going to get cooked. He's going to get cooked. Because at the end of the day, for me, that signing is not a luxury player anymore. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Not luxury. I'm saying there isn't the luxury of patience. Let me get my tongue from his twist, right? At 85 million, for the potential, there isn't a luxury for patience. 85 million on a player is a get it done now. Like, has to be done now. And then it harks back to the pricing that these guys are paying in the market. Like I said before, in one of my previous videos, both Spurs, City, and Chelsea literally mash up the whole window for everybody. But that said, we have to give them credit. Because whatever you think about the prices that they drop in, they are showing a lot more ambition than they have ever done. And to be honest, being 17 twice in 2 seasons will give you the ambition that you require. And it's not like they're spending like a club that's just wanting to hang around the 5th and 6th position and get what? Knowing Spurs, they're probably going to come in 6th anyways. But in my opinion, with the pricing that they are putting in the market for the players they're getting, I don't want to be seeing them saying, yeah, we're trying to make top 5, top 6. Nah, screw that, bro. You need to be in between the one, well, not the one, because they ain't winning the league. Yes, let's be honest. But they need to be at least in the top 4 bracket. Do you get it? For the pricing that they bring in for players, in my opinion. And they are putting serious money behind De Zerbi this summer. So as an Arsenal fan, and I don't really enjoy saying it, and I'm not going to pretend like I don't see what's going on, they are building something. And we just have to take notice. I mean, we need to, I'll start taking notice once I see what it's like on the pitch. But whether or not with the players they're bringing in, and it's going to build a title challenging team, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But again, are they just constructing a Europa League, most expensive type of qualification squad ever known to man? We'll find out in the same breath. But hey, I digress. Regardless, the ambition is there. I'll give them that. But then again, I still have to go back to City and what the hell they are. How have they managed to 419 Spurs into spending £85 million? I just think, in my opinion, I think about the signing, right? And I'm like, they're on the phone to Spurs and like, hello, right? The price is 85 million, right? And then they're like, Spurs comes back like, 85 million? Are you sure? And Spurs are like, 85 million? Okay, let's do it. And City goes, are you sure you want to pay 85 million for Savinho? Are you sure? Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. You can have him. It's mad. It is actually mad. Actually mad. But from a city's perspective, beautiful business. Beautiful business for them. Beautiful business for them. Because, hey, they tried developing the player. It's not really developed much on the city. And they're like, all right, have him for 85 million. You can go develop him yourself. And on the Zerbi, I can't lie, Savinho's going to cook. He will cook. Like, I think the Zerbi is going to do a good job. Good job coaching and developing Savinho. So, you know what? Fair play. Fair play. Fair play. And then, to top it off, I'm now seeing they are now back in negotiations with City for Omar Mamouche. Now, if that happens, then this isn't just a Savinho story anymore. We're going to be talking about Tottenham actually doing some serious reconstruction in their attack, because let's be honest, their attack has been woeful. But I'm not even going to get into all that because we all have eyes. We've all seen what happened last season and how they were. But hey, anyways, here's my verdict. Savinho the player, I like him. Savinho at Tottenham, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. On the De Zerbi, it could be dangerous. There's no getting about that. It could be dangerous because De Zerbi does develop attackers brilliantly. And yeah. But Savinho for £85 million, with all that said, that's where I'm struggling. I can't lie. That there, it makes no sense to myself because Spurs aren't playing. They're not paying for the player Savinho currently is. They're paying for the potential of what Savinho could become. And if they are right, we'll look back on it and say, you know what? 85 million, we'll look at it differently. But if they are wrong, which the tribalistic fan in me wants it to happen, but the objective and non-biased part of me says, you know what? Chances are this will go really well. Could go really well for them. But hey, this has a potential of this becoming one of those transfers where, every chance missed comes with the price tag attacked. But it's one of those. But I'm going to put the question back to you guys anyways. At 85 million for Savinho, all right? Is it a brilliant ambition from Spurs, or is it another example of the transfer window going nuts? Transfer window losing its head? And Arsenal fans, let's be serious. Like, let's put our bias and all that type of stuff aside for a sec. All right? Would you have taken Savinho at Arsenal? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.